Welcome back to Tynecastle. What a first half we just had. It's 1-1 here. FA Cup action tomorrow. Non-league Dover Athletic against Crystal Palace with Alan Pardew in charge, followed by Yeovil Town against Manchester United. Welcome to the FA Cup, Louis van Gaal. And then Tuesday night, the All-Premier League clash between Everton and West Ham. That's 7 p.m. So much to talk about, so much to debate, but Hibs started the better of the two teams today and took the lead. Jason Cummings, he says a lot about himself, but you can't argue with the finish.
Well, it's a great move again. Hibs, good switch of the play. The man we spoke about before the game, Scott Allen, with a lovely flighted ball. Great movement from Cummings and a really, really tidy finish.
But I think you just look at David Gray's movement, Darryl. You know, we spoke pre-match about his willingness to get forward, and sometimes it attracts players to you. But let's not take anything away from the cross. It's an absolutely terrific cross. Sometimes as defenders, you can't defend them. You know, you're frightened to stick a leg out. Jason Cummings, right place, right time, and a terrific finish.
I think Craig says that, sometimes the defender can't, you can't do much about it. And I agree to a certain extent, but I think the problem there is that he's almost blinded by the sight of the ball. It's such a good ball that he's too late to react, and as soon as he stalks for that second, there's nothing he can do. But if he'd reacted a split second earlier, he might have been able to block it. But great ball from Scott Allen and a very tidy, composed finish from Cummings.
He was booked for his celebration as well in front of the Hearts fans. He should have probably made it 2-0 straight afterwards, Stuart.
Again, Hibs using their fullbacks. Stevenson with a ball into the far post, and I would always look to try and head that back across the keeper. I think that Neil Alexander's drifting across with the flight of the ball. If Jason Cummings heads that back towards the post.
I would just like Eckersley to talk to Danny Wilson. Danny Wilson's ball watching a little bit. Yeah. You remember we did a couple of games here last year when they were in the Premiership, and we spoke about how at times Danny Wilson gets attracted to the ball. Eckersley has to just give him a little shout. Just, he has to be aware. Most teams in this league play with one striker. Hibs are playing with two.
It didn't look likely, but Hearts got back into the game. They've had this quality all season long. Superb finish, Jamie Walker.
It's a great finish. I think though that he just watches this ball comes into Walker. Scott Allen overcommits by half a yard, and it allows Walker to get on the inside of him. You just watch it here. He's doing the right thing. He wants to close him down, but he's not naturally that defensive type of player. And with a guy like Walker, with the quality he's got, as soon as he gets a sight on goal, bang, and he gets that. And a number of times that's happened this season for Hearts, where they've not been playing particularly well, but they've got a moment of magic that's got them back into the game. These are the differences in these big games.
He had a sighter just before that as well. He hit the side netting, but you wondered, Stuart, if he actually could have got a second yellow card. He was booked before that too, and then this happened.
Well, just a little bit of over-exuberance by Jamie Walker here. You see he goes sliding into the tackle. He does catch David Gray. You can just see him with his playing foot. I think if David Gray had made a meal of that challenge, there's a possibility that Jamie Walker would have got a second yellow and, of course, subsequently been sent off.
But in fairness then, Jason Cummings, could he have seen a second yellow by the letter of the law? He threw the ball away. He'd been booked for celebration.
But that's when players have to be careful. That's when players have to, try and stay calm, stay composed, not get caught up in the moment, not get frustrated, particularly when you've been booked. And that's when, as a manager, you try and speak to your younger players and say, you have to learn, you have to try and set a precedent, look after yourself on the pitch, make sure it's still 11v11.
I think though the referee, I think for the referee, it's good that he's not giving them bookings there. I think the slide tackle from Jamie Walker, if David Gray made more of it, it would have looked bad, but I don't think it was particularly bad. And also with Cummings there, it wasn't like he booted the ball away. It was a little petulant back heel, and I'm glad the referee's just shown a little bit of composure to calm it down there.
Much better for the game. It's still 11v11. If you're hearing all the cheers around us, it's not just for the answers the guys are giving us. There's a Legends penalty shootout happening. And wouldn't you just know it, it's pretty competitive out there. But it's 1-1 here at half-time. We're back to the second 45 shortly. That Legends penalty shootout was completed at half-time. The result, not very popular round these parts, 5-4 Hibs. Don't forget, coming up tonight, BT Sport 2 BDO World Darts Championship, 6:30 p.m. Always worth a watch. We are just waiting on Hibs as well. They've made Hearts wait a couple of times, but Alan Stubbs, he'll be delighted with what he's seen.
Yeah, definitely. I think, Hibs have been able to dictate the way they want to play the game. They've played their natural formation and style. It's Hearts, which is unusual, being the home team here with such a good record against Hibs. They're the ones that have been playing a containment game, and they've got a good goal there that's got them back into the game, but I'm sure Robbie will be looking at how he's going to be able to change this to make sure they can get more into the game.
Despite the equaliser, Hibs will still be very confident, won't they? The way they played.
They should be, but I think Hearts are going to have to change their shape because what they've employed so far hasn't worked.
What do they do then?
Well, I would imagine that they would want to play Payado as the sitter and then have some more width, push Walker wider and Nicholson wider and have a 4-1-4-1 and really get themselves into the game.